Hello and welcome back to more Mario 64. Um, for you guys, it'll be um, a week, but for me, it's been 2.5 hours because as of recording this, only yesterday has been released in theaters, part of Studio Ghibli Fest, and I went to go watch it. And it's a great movie. It's one of those movies where, you know, for a while in 11th grade, so this would have been 2019, I was very much, I call it reviewer mode, where I would think about a film very deeply, and I would try and watch, movies from different cultures. I would try and watch the or not the cult classics, but just the classics. I watched Casablanca that year. I watched The 400 Blows that year. I watched My Neighbor Totoro. I watched, I had my opinions on them. But, of course, something like The 400 Blows, my opinion on it now is not the same. You ever gonna come out, by the way? Is the game glitched? Why is he not coming out? For some reason, normally he's supposed to come out. But, my opinions on those movies, I basically would be like, well, this is really fantastic. Because I was in film reviewer mode. I believe that these films were great because, well, other people told me they were great. And I wanted to stick with the crowd. So nowadays, I mean, I don't really think about films like that. Nowadays, if I like a film, I like a film. If that film happens to be Cars 2, it happens to be Cars 2. There was a point where I was, like, disgusted in myself for liking that movie. Like, Cars 2, there was literally a point where I'm like, oh, Cars 2? That film's terrible. Oh, that film's so bad. It's the worst in the Cars series. Oh, it's terrible. And you know what? When I talk about that today, I'm like, Cars 2? Yeah, it's alright. I could watch it again. And that's what it was. I could watch it again. Even back then, I could watch it again and enjoy it. But since I was in film critique mood. Oh, well then I couldn't watch it because it's terrible. This movie kind of brought me back to that mood. It's a movie that 10 years ago I would have said is stupid. It was like, I would have said it was boring. I would have said, actually that would have been my main point. I would have said it was really boring and had nothing going for it, but, what is this one, by the way? Can the eel come out to play? Okay. But this was the one moment where, watching this, I was like, oh my god, it's 2019 again. Because I was watching it, and throughout it, I could have found it boring. And for a little bit I did, for the start of the movie. And then it just hit me. Like, this thing hit me where, like, this is beautiful. This is a beautiful movie. In terms of, like, writing, in terms of characters, in terms of everything. It just kind of hit me. And I'm like, oh my god, it's 2019 again. I am in, movie reviewer mode. I'm back in that mode. And I absolutely loved it. Is it a movie that I'd watch again? Maybe. I'm kind of thinking I'll watch it again, but only in the next Studio Ghibli Fest. But yeah, it was just it was one of the few times where my normal sense of liking movies. Normally, like, yeah, I just like a movie, and if I don't like it, I don't like it. It was that first time in a long time where that finally broke, and I was like, this is a masterpiece in terms of writing and character. Like, it's I'm still kind of stunned by it, that it actually broke that, and I was like, oh my gosh. I don't love this because it's cool. I don't love it because it's a nice film to watch. It just kind of broke it, and I was like, I love this because it's a work of art. It was really strange feeling. I haven't had a situation like that in a long time. You know, I don't know. Like, I watched a movie in 2019 called The Straight Story. And I watched it again, and I like it mainly for the character. I love the character of Alvin Straight. You know, it's just really wholesome, and it's like a really nice movie for me to watch. You know, do I think it's a work of art? Yes, but at the same time, I like it because I just really like the characters. And I really like the situations he gets himself in. In this case, do I really like the characters? Yes, some of them I do. Do I really like the situations? Yes, some of them I do. So normally I would say, I don't really care. But it's just the one time where I was like, alright, it's 2019 again, let's do it. I mean, it was just the one time where I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel 3 years younger. I mean, it's funny how that works. How at one point I was, as some would say, more adult than I was now. And I actually, like, really took films into consideration. And then nowadays, like, technically I'm less adult because I'm more loose on movies. And if I like a movie, I like it. I don't care about whether it's a work of art or not. Okay, I already looked through that one. It's a weird situation, and I may be the only person on the planet that has it, but it was cool. You know, I loved it. I loved watching it. Which is funny, because like I said, I didn't go in thinking that it was going to be a masterpiece. I didn't go in thinking that at all. And even, like I mentioned, even when I first started watching it, I thought, this is okay. I might, you know, that would be my overall perspective. Probably once I get done watching it, I'll be like, yeah, it was okay. I didn't really think I needed to go to a theater. But, I don't know, just halfway in, it just, like, hit me. I was like, wow, it's like it's 2019 again. And it was a really nice feeling. Like I said, I haven't felt that feeling in a very, very long time. And it's weird because, you know, I always think about that as a negative thing. I always have. I mean, you know, like, I hate being this really stuck-up reviewer. Oh, Cars 2? No, that film is terrible. Mater as a spy? Preposterous. You know, but I guess this time I wasn't stuck up. I just thoroughly enjoyed it. For the things that I used to enjoy. Does that make any sense? Like, you know, I can still enjoy something like Cars 2. I can still watch it, but I'm taking the good aspects of how I was in 2019 and putting them towards a film that I think is fantastic. And like I said, I haven't thought that way in a very, very long time. It's the first film that actually was like, oh my gosh, I haven't felt this feeling in ages. So let's just say the film had a great effect on me. And honestly, I think I'm so glad I saw it in theaters. It's one of those movies where I think if I was watching it on my own time, the experience wouldn't be nearly as good. Anyway, I talked about 8 minutes for one movie. Let's actually talk about the stage. So, this is many people's favorite Mario 64 stage, which, yeah. The music's really good. I understand why people would love it for that, but at the same time, it's really slow. You know, you're swimming most of the time, so it's a very slow stage. But what I like is that if you noticed throughout the, you know, throughout me playing it, and actually, let me see. Okay, so this stage has a very... Here, wait. Yeah, okay, so this stage has a very quiet song. But if you're noticing, whenever I really start moving is when the drums kick in. And it actually gets a lot faster. But when you start to slow down, or you come to a complete stop, then the drums go away. It actually is different based on how you play. So that's pretty cool. I love that. But of course, sorry that you can't... Okay, that glitch is gonna happen regardless. Sorry that you can't really hear it that much. Here, I'll turn it up just a little bit, but, you know, last time I was playing, it was, like, pretty loud. Hopefully you guys can hear it better now. But like I said, when I was playtesting, and I was actually checking audio levels, when I was checking audio levels, you know, it was like decent at the point that I'm at. So hopefully it's not too loud. So yeah, I guess it's fine. Whatever. I'll keep it at the point that it is. All right, we got 22 stars so far, which that's pretty good. Through the gesture. Okay, this one I have to be playing as Metal Mario for, so let me exit the course, and... Alright. It is time. We're gonna go to, Bowser's the first Bowser stage. And then that's what we're gonna go ahead and close the episode off with. Aww. I was wanting to be cool. Wahahaha, you stepped right into my trap, just as I knew you would. I warn you, friend. Watch your step. There are red coins here that you can collect. I'm not going to, because it's really annoying. Yeah, it's not that, like, some of these coins are easy to collect, but some of them, like the later ones, are really annoying to collect. So I'm just like, nah, I'm not going for it. Oh! What? There you go, this is a better view. What? That's interesting that it was a wah and not a yahoo. I've never heard him do the wah. Oh. Yeah, I did it. I did it in style. And oh my gosh, it's Bowser. There he is. Tough luck, Mario. Princess Toadstool isn't here. Gwahahaha. Go ahead, just try and grab me by the tail. You'll never be able to swing me around. A wimp like you won't throw me out of here. Never. So I've always, like, never really cared for the boss fights. Or the Bowser boss fights in this game. Because what you gotta do is you gotta spin it around. And hopefully land... Wow, okay, that was lucky. It's not so easy in the later fights. Grr, I was a bit careless. This is not as I planned. But I still hold the power to the stars, and I still have Peach. Wahaha, you'll never get more stars from me. I'm not finished with you yet. But I'll let you go for now. You'll pay for this. Later. You'll pay for this. Later. See ya. Alright, so that's going to be it for this episode, and I'll see you guys later.